what is funny? I want to start this video by saying, hello guys, here I am, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing great. But it's so hard for me to just tap into that relaxed place while I have this camera on me, when I have these eyes on me. And a little bit of this pressure is sneaking up. It's something I am continuously forced to be in the presence of. And the funny thing is that it's not even a bad thing. The reaction to the camera, to the eyes, is where the quote-unquote suffering, potential suffering, is coming in, where the issues is coming in, which is all about what this video today is going to be about. We're going to talk about the most profound and just amazing realization that you can have as a human, which is that of moving into a perspective of life where you don't see things as inherently good or bad anymore, but where you embrace the challenges of life, the turmoil, the chaos, whatever it is that's going on right now, with open, conscious awareness, with open arms pretty much, without saying that it's good, without saying that it's bad, and recognizing that the deeper that you feel something, the deeper that you go through something, the deeper, as you are doing that and also allowing it to move through you, you are deepening your conscious awareness. You're deepening your connection to your real and authentic self, which is beyond the mind, which is beyond the body. You were never born, and you will never die. And it is this part of you that you are always, at all times, being pushed by the universe to move closer into connection with through all of the things that you're going through in your life. Something that I've been struggling a lot with in my life is worrying. Thoughts of overthinking, especially like my health, for example. I've had a lot of issues with it in my life, and yeah, a lot of the times I've just been really scared about the sensations that I'm having in my body, thinking that there is something wrong with me and stuff like that. And what I am talking to you about right now, when it comes to this deeper realization of who it is that you are beyond the mind and the body, that is something that you get more into the connection of the more that you allow it. So we as humans like to get in the way of this connection to our real selves, to deepen, because we attach ourselves to a program, we attach ourselves to a way of doing things as to be locked onto a certain set of problems, a certain set of issues, because as we're living in that limited scope of awareness, we are unaware of our emotional body. We are unaware of a lot of the things that is going on internally within us that we have grown numb to over the years, as we got used to living our lives as a certain unconscious persona. You have been a certain unconscious person that has been worrying, thinking about certain things, overthinking yourself perhaps, having certain habits and addictions and things that you are attaching yourself to, as to be very disconnected from the broad truth of this world that we live in, of the truth of who you are. Something that becomes just apparently, just overwhelmingly clear to you when you allow it, which happens naturally when we detach ourselves from the programs that kept our conscious awareness so limited on these things. Because you'll realize that when you let go of your attachments to the programs and you open up your consciousness a little bit, a lot of these things that you suppressed about yourself, for example, a lot of these heightened states of emotions, which is the reason for us even creating a program in the first place, because as we're experiencing something in our external world and simultaneously believing that this is not okay, I shouldn't be experiencing this, because you have family or society or something that is telling you a story about what it is that you're experiencing, makes you reject what it is that you're experiencing. You start becoming a person that is capable of judgment, because you are being judged and you are taking on those beliefs by your environment. And then you start judging certain situations as good, you start judging certain situations as bad. And this is where you create this separation to the nature, the abundant and just peaceful nature of who you are. The truth is that, and something that is just so like really cool to understand, is that you are always at peace. Your deeper essence is always at peace. And we're always creating the chaos and the friction by being aware of our mind and body and then attaching ourselves to those stories and those beliefs, while in reality we don't have to do that. We can sit and be the observer of these things and remain within the power of who we are, which is just the witness and the awareness of these things. This awareness, this consciousness that you are, is always going to exist, even when the body dies, even when the mind stops working. Which is something that helped me get over, or just make this whole situation that I had where I was very worried and overthinking my health and stuff kind of dissipate a lot. Because I realized that, I don't even have to like keep myself alive, because, you know, I'm always here. I always existed. I will always continue to exist. Because all of these programs and all of these issues that we run into as humans are survival mechanisms. Guess what? When you recognize that there is nothing to survive, when you recognize that you were never born and that you never will die, and that there is a part of you that permeates time and space and that always exists, then you can let go of a lot of these programs, because they are fundamentally created upon you believing that you're going to die. So when you connect back to the unending part of who you are again, and realize that you are everything and that you will continue to exist, then a lot of those fear-based programs disappears. Because you connect back into the fullness and completeness of who it is that you are, beyond all of these programs. Beyond the mind and beyond the emotions of the body, because you are not these things. Something that is very scary when you start this spiritual awakening journey. Some people try to start it themselves, but most people are forced into it because the foundation of what it is that they've been living on their entire life starts to fall away. You had a relationship that you were clinging on to, you had a job situation that you were clinging on to, you had a matrix of a reality in many different sort of ways, a thought pattern, you had certain types of actions that you took every single day as to be consciously unaware, to be disconnected. And when those things start to fall away, you start to feel like, I'm not in control anymore. And that is because the emotions that you suppressed about yourself are starting to rise up again, as they are always trying to do but are not able to do as long as you cling and attach yourself to things. Now, these emotions, when they come up again, you're going to realize that initially as they start rising up, you're fighting with all your being in unconscious ways to move back to smoking cigarettes, or to move back into trying to find a relationship, or just being super hard on yourself all the time, telling yourself that you're a piece of shit or whatever it is. Because being attached to these thoughts, these programs, these mechanisms continues to keep you detached and unaware from these emotions that are now trying to make their way up to the surface again. Now, the only reason why you're reacting in this way is not because of the emotions themselves, because they are just the universe flowing through you. They have no inherent meaning to them, they're just supposed to be experienced by you. But you have stories, unconscious stories in a lot of cases attached to them, which says that if this actually rises up to the surface, then I am not good enough as I am. Then I can't be accepted. Then there is something wrong with me. That is why we fight so much and create resistance to it, because we have conditioned ourselves to believe certain things about certain aspects of who it is that we are over these emotions. If you come into more of this realization that you are not these emotions, these stories that are attached to your emotions, even though you might not be aware of them right now, is not something that you have to hold on to. You don't have to attach yourself. You can simply be in the presence of this emotion. And as you're feeling that, oh my God, this is horrible to go through, like, I don't know what to do, then to understand in that moment that every single time that you feel a heightened state of emotion, whether it is amazing or if it is terrible, to understand that it is bringing you closer into the connectedness over who it is that you truly and authentically are. You're bringing yourself back into wholeness and completeness, not by trying to react to this thing and become successful or convince people that you are a certain type of person or be a people pleaser as to suppress parts of who you are anymore. You just release all of that and come into the acceptance over the emotions that preceded all of these behaviors, not to judge them anymore, to move beyond that perspective of the limited mind that is looking for a right or wrong, and move into the power and the peace of who you are that just simply observe things as they are without a meaning attached to it. That is when you bring yourself back into just the fullness of your power, because that's when you connect into the flow of the universe, because these emotions that are continuously being suppressed and repressed beneath the mechanisms of your mind that you're always distracted by, the things that you're always doing, they're starting to slowly move through you again, which was always the intent. They were never meant to be locked up within you. They were meant to move through you. They were meant to move through you so that you can continue with your life afterwards, being the full and connected, whole and complete being that you are. But we slowly condition ourselves, bury a part, bury this part, throw this part away, and then we get lost in the brain. You know, some people call the brain the devil, and you could say that the emotions and the allowance of the emotions is God. That is where you get this very distorted reality also that is being created through the brain, which is where a lot of our issues are coming in. You know, people go crazy from their own fucking brain, and the brain is just a protection mechanism. So the more crazy that you are in the brain, the more attached you are to doing things in a certain way, the more unconscious you are. It just means that you have disconnected yourself to a much more extreme level from what it is that you're experiencing within your emotional state. Because there is so much here, so much trauma, so many things that you're running from at this point in your life, and that you've lost conscious awareness of by becoming an unconscious person driven simply by programs instead. Letting go of the programs become easy and effortless. Yes, the things that falls away naturally, just like a tree drops its leaves. When you come into the realization of that, I don't have to keep myself alive. I don't have to fight for my survival, because getting love, acceptance, and validation is something that you believe that you need on a deep level, because otherwise I'm going to fucking die. That's how the mind works. But if you realize that I am beyond these things, I am safe, I am loved, I am protected, and I was never born, I will never die. Wow, all of these programs don't make as much sense anymore. And so I don't need to attach myself to these programs anymore, as I'm feeling extremely pressured to go into an old negative habit, into an old addiction or something like that. I don't have to do it. I simply have to sit here and realize that the experience of this thing, even though I feel into the core of my being right now that I should judge it and that I should change this experience by suppressing myself and continue to drink alcohol or judge this person or scream at the people in my life or just think constantly and worry about stuff, that this is because I'm judging it as good or bad. I'm living through the brain, because I probably at this point, if I am also doing this, think that I am the brain. I think I am the body. I think I am the emotions. No, my friend, you're aware of these things. And at any point, can you choose to not do something about what it is that you're experiencing anymore and simply be with it, knowing that you're safe to be with it, knowing that also being with it is going to propel you forward. If you let go of chasing the relationship, you're going to move through this energy that caused you to chase the relationship. You might cry. You might scream, you might be angry, you might be frustrated. And there is such deep beauty in that, because as you move through that, you come out on the other side more fully whole and complete as you integrated that aspect of who you are back into conscious awareness again. You become more able to find synchronicity in your life. and true authentic people are starting to pop up more into your life that wish the best for you, that are not here anymore to abuse you and take advantage of you, or that are not right for you simply because you're being a match to each other, because of this desperate search that you're having, because of the repression of yourself, because you're distracting from that and trying to get things from things in the world. You think, I need money, I need success, I need validation. No, you don't need that. You need to accept yourself without judgment. Simply the beingness of where you are right now, and to lean into that more every single day and realize that things takes care of itself at that point. And also understanding that the universe is going to start bless you with new opportunities, because the universe is always trying to bless you with opportunities but can't give it to you because you're holding on to things in this limited scope of awareness where you cannot be an open match to what it is that the universe actually wants to give to you. So before that you can receive better things by the universe, you need to let go of these old things that makes it so that you can only receive these things of this challenging nature because you are choosing it. You're choosing to hold on. You're choosing to stay where you are. Even though it feels like every single day you're choosing to change and get something new. But you are just fooling yourself because you're not changing anything. You're keeping things the same by trying to change, because trying to change is a repression of what is always here, that is trying to be changed by your allowance of moving through it, because it changes itself. The trees, the plants, the snow, it all comes, it changes, the season changes. You are just like any sort of thing in this universe, how the planet rotates around the sun. You are always going through seasons, my friend. You're always moving, you're always growing. Whether you are in the picture with your mind saying that you are or not, you're always growing, you're always getting older. It's always happening for you. It's just that you're not connected to that flow of the universe right now because you are rejecting it. Because you have all of these projections about, if I'm experiencing this, it's good. If that is bad, that is good. This is bad, that is good, this is bad. Because you're so attached to the mind. You're so attached to the mechanisms, believing that that is you. And I hope that with this video today, you're gonna be able to start moving back into the power of who you are, because even though the world seems at turmoil, you are always at peace. There's a part of you that is always at peace. It is not about what is happening in your life. It is only and was only ever about how you reacted to it. You can go through the wildest shitstorm and be fully at peace if you stop creating resistance to it through your beliefs, through your perceptions, and simply accept it as it is. And I promise you, doing that will lead you to something greater than you could ever imagine from the limited scope of your mind. If you want to learn more about this, I have some courses. I'm gonna leave some link down below so you can learn more about connecting to yourself and just live a wonderful life. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, my friends, and bye bye.